Green Arrow issue 24, which is the end of the first arc of the story. And yeah, I mean, the fight itself was obviously the last issue, so this is almost all like, so some comic arcs are a bit guilty of like wrapping up their big final fight of the entire arc like 2 pages before the end of the last issue, so you get like the quickest like epilogue that feels rushed. I do appreciate this giving a full issue to like, okay, after the fight, what's the fallout? Yeah, it's nice breathing room. That's a good way of putting it.
I like it. It's definitely the denouement, right? Like in film, when you're coming down and you're getting these end caps, and I feel like these characters, especially what's his name, the main kid that we start on, who started all of this, going back and seeing him talking to his mom's grave. Right, it adds a bit of that pathos to him that we already were kind of feeling, right? But the fact that he's talking to the grave and going through all of these emotions, and we know where that leads to him to killing at least 2 people, I think, and trying to kill some multiple others. Like, we see his desperation at play here. Yeah,
I think my favorite part of that opening scene is when he's talking to his mother's grave. He openly admits that you would hate what I'm doing. I know you wouldn't approve of what I'm doing. I like that self-awareness of him, like where he like understands that it's not this like, oh, I'm the righteous good guy here, and that it's all like hunky-dory. No, there's shades of grey to this. And then the first scene of the main part of the timeline is that Oliver's at the prison to see him, and he's not really enthusiastic about it, but the guard's like, hey, it's better than sitting in your cell, to take the 10 minutes and sit out here.
So he doesn't know Ollie's Green Arrow. So Ollie was just someone that was on his hit list, right?
Yes.
But the way this plays out when he looks over and is like, oh, shit. And there's the expletives. And Ollie's on the bottom panel smiling on the other side of the window. That gave me such a chuckle. Like, hey, friend. I know you're trying to kill me, but I'm here to say hi. And it just kind of leans into the doofus version of Ollie Queen, which I do appreciate.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this douchebag. Like basically Oliver, the guy doesn't want to let him speak very much, but Oliver's like, look, I'm doing this thing. I'm going to start a program to keep the environment safer and rebuild housing, and it's all going to be named after your mother. He holds the bit of paper up for him to see, and like obviously he's like, this is not going to bring her back. This is not going to make up for everything that was done. Or anything, but it's something, and that kind of like, it mirrors what he was saying at the grave before. He's like, hey, this isn't like a perfect solution, but I need to do something. So when he ultimately gets up and leaves, he's like, you're right, but it is something. Like, it's not going to achieve all these things that are impossible, but it will. It's a start. So it's Oliver trying to do what he can, and he chooses, the other guy chooses to end the conversation, go back to his cell. He's like, we're done with this. So it's kind of this like quiet, bitter like walk away at the end where they've reached some form of peace and understanding, even if it's not a happy one, because they'll never be happy. This guy's always going to be angry because of what happened to his mother. But
but I like too that in that beginning part, he's talking about lilies, and lilies represent like renewal and rebirth, right? And so what Ollie wants to do is that he's going to bulldoze all of Freshwater and clean it up, right? Take all the stuff that made everybody sick and rebuild. So it also hits with that theme of rebirth and renewal, and doing it in the mom's name as well, so it's just, he's actually making it right? Because Ollie put his name on this thing. That's how he ended up on the list. He wasn't paying attention, so his shared guilt in that and him trying to make it right does show this guy like, okay, well, maybe there is good in what we did.
Yeah. And then Detective Lady shows up. We found out her name's Lena, by the way, at the end of this scene. So we finally have a first name to use for her.
It's a good name too. Lena Benitez has like a rhythm to it.
Lena Benitez, yeah. And somehow, I mean, maybe she does secretly, maybe she's figured it out and she's just pretending. But I'm like, how could you not see that goatee and like immediately go, oh, you're Green Arrow?
I was hoping that she had her dog with her, and the dog jumped up on him. And it's like, oh, he usually doesn't do that to people he doesn't know. Wink. like that kind of stuff. Because it always cracks me up when these characters are within range for a good period of time with our heroes and still can't put it together.
Yeah.
Who they are. So it's a bit funny.
And in fact, even when he goes on his little rant here, when she's questioning why he didn't press charges of the guy that tried to kill him, he goes on a rant about, oh, well, I'm supposed to put him down because he's less fortunate than me and whatever. And she even makes the point of saying, you sound like someone else I've spoken to recently. So I don't know if that's her hinting that she has maybe figured it out or not. I'm actually unclear. I hope she has. It would make more sense to me if she's figured it out than not, to be honest. But yeah.
Well, because the way that he goes, oh, and she's like, yeah, good guy. Lots of opinions though. That feels pointed, right? That feels like she's sticking it in a little bit.
A little bit. He does get a bit flirty here, even though he's still with Dinah, I want to point out, but he says her name's really nice, and she does the whole tuck the hair behind the ear smile, moment.
Shucks.
Yeah. So yes, he's like, I'll give you a call, and she's like, yeah, you do that, and she stands in her power stance. But yeah, so he's like going to have dinner with Dinah and Connor and so on.
They're making chili. Following the recipe.
Yeah. But he wants to make a stop on the way. He goes to Horton Chemicals to basically threaten the CEO into doing some new things, some clean energies, protecting people, also basically paying the medical bills, I assume, of everyone affected from before, and is like, yeah, if you don't do it, you know what will happen. So he never actually says I'll kill you, but there's an implication.
I mean, he has the arrow, pointed at him, and he sticks it in the ground next to his head, Yeah. So the implications.
The implication. And sets fire to the sign, I would say the billboard for Horton Chemicals.
It's metal.
Yeah.
It's metal as hell.
So yeah, and then the book just ends with Oliver arriving home for the big dinner, the giant pot of chilies there. So yeah, this was definitely a decompression issue. This was this like wrap up things, and it basically consisted of 3 important conversations. I mean, yeah, there's the phone call to Dinah, but that's mostly just a little bit of like, here, your normal life's waiting for you. The 3 conversations were, were Oliver and then the Clearwater guy, Oliver and Detective Lady, and Oliver and CEO, and like all 3 of them are just wrapping up thematically what we were doing with this arc. And it was nice. It was nice. The art's still great, of course, for MONTOS.
MONTOS. And I like the stuff in the prison too, because like the MONTOS stuff works really good with shadows and the way that he plays with the colors, but everything in there has like that fluorescent style lighting, so everything's blown up and it still looks good, right? So it's MONTOS hitting the fine details on everything, and the smile on Ollie's face as he's sitting in that, behind the glass, it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, symbolically, like the book's been obviously mostly set at night, shadowy rooms, that kind of thing. All this stuff in the prison is all brightly lit, like you said. It feels like it's almost symbolic for, we're at the end of the story where things are more clear now, and we're reflecting and we're reaching some conclusions. So it's I mean, I think it's a really solid epilogue issue, and I'm glad they took the time to do it because it let everything breathe, and it feels like maybe it teases a couple things of where we're going, but for the most part it just feels like it's wrapping this up. So I'm excited to see what the next arc brings.
Me too.
From this team.
Because I remember hearing about this one as it was playing out, and the whole freshwater killer and Ollie and environmentalism type stuff. I don't know what's next. Like, I haven't heard anything.
No idea.
Like, I haven't checked. So yeah, going into the kind of blind is exciting. Yeah.
So no, good stuff. Art's phenomenal as always, and feel like a nice little capper to the arc. So, and I like that I think the other reason why I like that it gave it this time to breathe is because the villain, quote unquote, is a sympathetic person. So we don't just want to slap handcuffs on him, he's done, like send him off, like punish him. Yeah. No, we care about what happened to him. He deserves some form of justice as well.
Yeah, he was definitely the antagonist while not being evil.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, good stuff. What are you giving Green Arrow, Matt?
Man, this issue would. The art's all good. It's 9 too high. Yeah, I think 9's a bit too high, so I'll give it 8.5.
I think I agree with that, actually. 8.5. I think is just right for this. I think, and it's not a fault of the issue because I don't see where you would fit it in. But I'm like, oh, more like, moody action would be good. And you get a little bit when he goes after the CEO, but like, I mean, where else would you put it? It wouldn't fit anywhere else in this issue. So, yeah. Unless like he has to go kill the turkey that they're going to have for dinner or something.
Right.
You get stuck in the turkey sequence.
Doing a sequence like that while he's picking up the things in the recipe for the chili because they made it wrong. I think that would be funny.
That'd be funny. Yeah. I did like the joke that Dinah keeps like putting down the amounts, like because he's like, oh, put in 3 tablespoons, and she's like 2 tablespoons, and one of this. Yeah, just half a tablespoon of that. Like she keeps downplaying, like it's Oliver overdoes it every single time.
Yes.
So she's like,
but
just
they all
censoring
love
it.
this chili, I thought. let follow the recipe, man. That's what you like. It's not gonna taste. But it turns out that she doesn't like it because it's too seasoned, and she can't deal with it. So that's why she's having Connor make it differently.
Look, her screaming voice is very important. Okay, she has to maintain those vocal cords.
True, but you'd think you would want some like chili powder, cayenne powder in there to help clear those out. You know what I mean? So
yeah, 1 tablespoon instead of 2.
Yeah, good stuff, man. It just it's crazy that Green Arrow gets these runs like this, right? That they alternate so much. Because just the point that we've been doing the show, we had the Rebirth stuff, which we enjoyed.
Yeah, the Percy run's great. This run's very good. Yeah.
So, it just goes back and forth. So very, very excited to see where it goes.